Sam McGranahan here at Vans Warped Tour 2017. I'm here with Valent. How are you?
Alahoyas, I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I am dandy. I love your beard, by the way. You look very Viking-like.
Thank you very much. I think that on Earth, my ancestry would be Scottish, but you'd be surprised how many Vikings don't actually have beards. Mostly the Vikings that are left surviving on this Earth were the ones that stayed home. They never went off and fought and killed and migrated to other places. They were the ones that stayed home and farmed and shit and shaved and kept it nice. And now a lot of Scandinavian people can barely grow beards. So this is sort of more of a Scottish, Irish, and even English thing.
Well, if you couldn't tell, McGranahan's pretty Irish, so I think that's pretty rad.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So how's Warped Tour been treating you so far?
Warped Tour has been tweeting me very well. They've been putting up pictures of us on Twitter, and
They have been tweeting you.
They have been tweeting me. They've been treating me pretty well as well. Every band is radical to us. We've had some bus troubles. Our suspension went out in our vehicle, so everybody's basically been taking us. I want to give a shout out to Sick of It All, War on Women, Bad Cop, Municipal Waste, CKY, just for taking us around and helping us the last couple of days. We're basically like hobo rock and roll warriors right now. But we're apparently getting a new vehicle in Boston, and everything's going to be radical. But we've been backpacking in and beating the heat any way we can lately. So it's been tough, but they've been treating us fantastically. Like, we're here and we're going to rock tonight, and you can't really slow us down. I think that they're trying to test us. They were like, I heard these guys were the toughest motherfuckers around, so it's okay if I say motherfucker. I was like, well, they can probably bleep it with the technology that we have today. I don't usually say that, but I was quoting what people usually say, They heard that we were the toughest MFers around, and they're trying to prove it, and I think that they have. Otherwise, we'd be stuck in, Colorado or something.
So you guys put out an album in 2016. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, that was our 7th record. It's entitled Old Salt, and it just it was the first one that we recorded in its entirety all on our own in Palm Reader Recording Studio in Wilmington, North Carolina, that our guitar player Valent Thor built from the ground up himself. So I'm pretty proud of it. It's fantastic what he's done in there in 2 years. It's incredible, the sound that we got and how comfortable the experience was. I mean, because we recorded 2 albums in Seattle, 1 in California, 1 in Baltimore, Durham twice, Savannah, Georgia, not Savannah, Athens, Georgia. We've recorded all over the place, even a little bit in France, and it's still the most comfortable place, just kind of like at home, I guess maybe that's what it was. It felt like home. But it's got a lot more soul than some of our records, because over the years it's just the sum of the parts that make it. The sum is the total of the parts. So I guess what I mean is, whoever was playing with us at the time dictated how the music came out, whether it was more metal or more punk or more rock and roll. And I'd say this one, the rhythm section that's on this one is different. It's new compared to the last record before it, and they have a lot of soul. And soul is very important in rock and roll. When I say rock and roll, I mean rock and roll. I don't mean rock music, because when rock lost the roll, it lost the soul, and so the soul is back in this band. You can tell by the bass and the drums. If you watch us play, you'll be able to tell. Our drummer is the show now. Everybody talks about how amazing he is, Iggy, and our bass player is just an insane multi-instrumentalist. He actually had never even played bass before he joined the band. He's a drummer and a guitar player, but he's just one of those guys who uses every waking moment to learn. And I think that's important no matter what your job is in life. That's why we can say that maybe we sucked in the beginning, but the whole time that we've existed, we've gotten better and better, just because we try to use every day to learn, to go further, to become smarter, to help people more. And I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. Sorry, I'm rambling, but it's hot outside, and
You
I'm
kinda stay in
hijacking
here.
this AC as long as I can, baby. You know what I'm saying?
So are there any bands on the lineup that you've been really into?
Yeah, most of them I knew all along already, you know, but what's funny is the longer the tour goes on, the more you interact with the bigger people. Obviously, I'm from Richmond. I live in Richmond, so obviously I'm already friends with like Guar and Municipal Waste, and I've known some of the heavier acts because I've either toured with them or been by them. But it's nice to meet younger bands, and I made friends already with like, you know, you cross paths with people, but you don't make friends with them. Like Sick of It All, Ataris are new fans, I mean new friends, and like. Or probably new fans. They probably didn't even know who the hell we were. And we bumped into Sick of It All in the past in Europe, but it's fun to like jam with them now. You know what I mean? I met the singer from Amur today when I was calling about our bus. It's been messed up, you know, and I was calling about it and emailing about it and trying to figure all that out. And he was really funny in there. And you just you eat, you know, wherever you eat, you know, you pass by with people that you wouldn't normally interact with. Somebody completely out of your different musical style or whatever. There isn't a lot that I've met, but there's still lots of opportunity to meet more, you know.
So we're actually from Richmond too. Before Valent Thor kind of became a thing, were you in any local bands?
Well, yeah, actually, you know, Valent Thor never has been actually based in Richmond. I live there, but we're a North Carolina band, and
Yeah.
we were all started in Greenville, North Carolina, at East Carolina University, and there was lots of bands that we were affiliated with. Lo-Fi Conspiracy, The Kick-Ass. Those were the two that primarily kick-started Valent Thor. Those two kind of combined and started Valent Thor. Over the years, the members of the band that's changed out have been in tons of bands. Right now, the ones, Damos Thor was in Early Man before he was in Valent Thor. And the other guys, Iggy is a gospel drummer, and he's just fantastic. You know, just I feel like the only thing to say is that I'm the weakest link. I'm the only untrained member, and they are all fantastic musicians. I'm very lucky to be able to play with such a good band.
So do you ever miss Richmond whenever you're touring?
Oh yeah, my lady is here right now, and I miss my kitty cats really bad. If there was any way to go see them and get there within an hour instead of like an hour and a half or hour 45 and get back, I would dip and go see my kitties for a couple hours and come back. It would be well worth it to me to do that, but I'll see them in another month.
So are there any songs that, you know, the fans are responding to well right now that you're really proud of?
Off the new record,
Yeah.
there's a couple that we haven't played since we've been out here. We should do them today since we're playing so late and kind of against Guar, which is kind of against like a hometown hero crowd. It's weird because every band on our stage I like to watch, and the only one that like drags me from our stage every day is Guar. And you're the unlucky band if you are on our stage and you have to play against them, because it's the only time that fans of all those kinds of music will deviate from our stage. And you know, I mean, I'd say for the most part we all fear having to go up against them because they put on such a great show. And that's where, if I was 15 years old and paid money to come to this tour, that's where I would be. So we might play some different ones today. We've been doing cut and run, and we've been doing No Count Blues, and we've been doing a few of the other ones. But I think that we should do Looking Glass, because we made a video for that, and I think it's funny because like all the catchiest songs that kids would probably like, we're not playing. It's like purposely, I think we make it difficult on ourselves. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I'm not the one who makes it. I do so many other jobs. I don't make up the set list. I just say, do whatever. I'm down.
So is it kind of weird being around all these teenagers all the time?
Yeah, a little bit. Makes you feel. I mean, I don't know. It's not weird. I just don't. I actually do feel older, because the last time we were on the tour, here's a little interesting tidbit. The very first Warped Tour that I ever played was here in 2004. Back then, the Hard Rock and Skull Candy stages were the Hurley and Volcom stages, and actually, I think in '04 it wasn't even Hurley yet. It was something else. But we sniped on. Our friends in this band, ASG from Wilmington, North Carolina, got us on with Mark Gardner, and he asked us to play here in Charlotte. So we played here in Charlotte in '04, and then we did the whole thing in '05 and '06. And so that's the last time we did. It's 11 years ago, and upwards to like got memories of Warped Tour from like 13 years ago, and it makes me definitely feel like an older dude. I was like 25, and now I'm like 38. So whatever. It's like one of those things. Like I have a lot of these kids could be my very well. Some of them could be my children. They're definitely my nieces and nephews' age. I have nieces and nephews who are 25 because I got older brothers and sisters. So it's neat to hang out. I have also an adopted brother who's 15, and he came to the Charlotte show, and he's like super psyched. To me, it's like hanging out with a bunch of his friends. So it is. I have to watch my mouth a little bit and be nice, but I like to high five people. Here's the thing. All of our fans are old, curmudgeonly dudes that come out at bars after 11 o'clock at night. What do we expect we're going to be playing to out here, So I don't feel weird at all. I accept the challenge, and I try to relate to them on their level. I used to be a 6th grade teacher, and so at 11 to 15 is like the perfect age to like get across the message that we're trying to get across anyway. So.
Well, speaking about fans, do you have any like really interesting fan stories that you'd like to share?
No, our fans are the best. They have a fan club that they made up called the Thoriers, and they're out every day. A few of them, no matter what age they are, they're here. There's a lot of old motorcycle-looking dads out there who are very excited that we're playing, and they can bring their kids and show them, and check them out. Something different to check out.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. And we will see you again. Peace.